Welcome, everyone. I'm Pam Feather, president of the Albuquerque Sister Cities organization, and I am so pleased to see so many different people here today. And I just want you to know that we are fortunate to have the city of Albuquerque being such a melting pot of so many different people from everywhere. I really appreciate that. Sister Cities itself was an organization that was formed by Eisenhower after World War II. He wanted to find a way to bring peace between the world and city to city. That's what we're here recognizing today, our newest sister city, Jericho, and Albuquerque. 2025, it was officially signed by Mayor Keller and Mayor Sider, who is no longer mayor, but you will meet the new mayor by video from Jericho. You'll get to try some wonderful food. I can't wait. But I, most of all, want you to know who's in your community here. I have Samia Assad is the chair for Jericho. Have Dr. Lynn Newton, who's the co-chair. I have Mayor Keller here. First Lady Elizabeth Keller's here. Alan Armillo, International Liaison for the Mayor. Doug Small, Director of Public Affairs. Carlo Aragon, Equity and Inclusion. Nicole Roger, Councilwoman. Yes. Saith Ishmael, the Interim Director of DTI. Where are you? And Bibi Valoria, who is the Assistant Director of the Albuquerque Museum. And last but not least, my sister organization director, Malora Palmer. And thank all of you for being here, and I'm going to turn it over to Samia.
Thank you, Pam. Can you hear us? Thank you all for joining us today. And first, I want to wish my Muslim community Eid Mubarak to everybody. It is the largest and the most important, significant Muslim holiday in the Muslim calendar. So it was really important for us to kind of celebrate that and to launch this event, recognizing that, and hopefully many more other events together from different communities will join us in these festivities. Today, I want to welcome one of the most important leaders who I've seen stand with me personally as a Palestinian American, but as a Burqueño, as a human rights organizer. Mayor Keller has always been there and has stood his ground, solid in stance of many of the issues we activate on. Many of you here can be eyewitness to that, and I just want to welcome you up here. Thank you. Mayor Tim Keller, please, a round of applause.
Thank you so much, and Liz and I are fortunate we have a kind of babysitter arrangement, so we're here together, which is great. Our kids are getting older, so, but anyway, the point is we're here together, and I'm actually going to hand it over to our First Lady to kick things off.
I just first want to thank everyone for being here today, but a few special thanks as well. Thank you to Samia for your leadership and your vision on this. As everyone in this room knows, this is one of just a dozen incredible things Samia does for our community, but this one is extremely powerful. And as we think about the impacts that this will have for generations and generations, lots to be proud of. I've been crying at graduations for a week now, and it's still just going. But of course, we know that all of this work and the importance of all of it isn't about one person. It's not just about mayors. It's not just about leaders or co-chairs, but the entire spirit of Sister Cities, and really the entire spirit of all of the work, right, that the community here has done in support of Palestine, we know takes families, it takes generations. It's a lot of hard work that goes into building this and rebuilding it and continuing to strengthen it for our community. So we know there are so many folks who are a huge part of that here together in this room. We also know and thank all of those who couldn't be with us here tonight because they're tending to family. So from the bottom of our hearts, thank you. It means the world.
So we really want to hear from our friends in Jericho and the new Jericho mayor, and I know we have some delicious food as well. I'm just going to share with you, I think, a couple of things. Firstly, you know, Sister Cities, the team that's new to Sister Cities may not know this. The team that's been doing Sister Cities for decades are well aware of this concept. But it is worth reminding us, the whole idea behind Sister Cities is actually very human-centered and city-centric in this sense. The idea is that no matter what is happening with our respective countries or the countries around us, that we have to respect the humanity in each city between us and the people that live there and their story and their lived experience, be it tragic or otherwise, and their history and their culture, and to support the next generation. This is why youth exchange is so important, to create a direct way for us to connect with each other that is not filtered by propaganda from governments and all of these other things. Now, obviously, in this situation, we could go on for quite some time about the tragedy and what's happening and different aspects of course, Palestine and the region and everything all about this. But the point of Sister Cities is to make the direct connection and have that conversation directly. That's what it's about. That's actually why it has stood the test of time and stood the test of many, many conflicts. It's also why in Albuquerque, we decided to reach out to Sister Cities exactly in times of conflict. That's why we are Sister Cities with Kharkiv, Ukraine. That's why, in many ways, we wanted to do this now in this time. And I also know our other Sister Cities organizers believe in this concept. And that does include Sister Cities, our community here that's Sister Cities with Rehovot in Israel, because they believe that this is about a direct connection with people above all. So in a way, there is a little bit of a higher calling for Sister Cities. And that's why I really appreciate that at least in Albuquerque, we're going to do this right. And we're going to have a Sister City with Palestine, and it's going to be Jericho. So there are some things that we have to commit to, and I always want to use an event like this to remind us of that. Sister Cities is not like a heavyweight organization with a bunch of signed treatises and agreed upon anything. But you got to do a few things. You have to set up a student exchange for exactly the reasons that I just described. Also, and we're committed to do that, and so are they. Also, you do need to visit each other directly. This is like another part of the idea. Now, obviously, there's exceptions. We actually have sent delegations to even Kharkiv. So we're going to try and do this. So we made a run at it, and it was a little too soon, but we do have some time on the calendar, and I already forget when it is, but we'll email it out, and we'll start scheduling. I want to say September of 2027, but we'll figure it out. Because we do want to take a delegation to Jericho. And of course, that can come in many different flavors. Sometimes city councilors and mayors make it, sometimes they don't. It doesn't really matter because it's not about the politicians. It's about the actual community. So stay tuned for more on that because that is sort of part of the commitment. And then, of course, it's two-way. So we want to host a delegation from Jericho, and we want to host students and send students and so forth. And then we do usually a cultural exchange, too, where, you name, like we send, it's different for every city, but it's like flamenco dancers or, it's sort of interesting. But you learn about each other's history through the arts, and so that's an important part of it, too. So we're very excited about all of that. And I would just end with, I think, for me, I will share a story. Do we have kunefe for dessert, or was that just a tease? Okay. So I should tell, so some people know this, Samia knows this. It is oddly my favorite dessert. It is what I request on my birthday for my special birthday treat. And wonderfully, the community has figured this out. And so now on my birthday, the city has all this kunefe. It's awesome. And so... it's really, it's very, very special for me. My family's in on this, and So anyway, But I first had it in Palestine, and the borders and the scene was a little different. But I spent a month on the Mount of Olives, which is the Palestinian-controlled area of Jerusalem, and it was during Ramadan. And I was very young at the time, so, also very ignorant of a lot of things. But I was there working at a hospital with a friend of mine, and I got to learn just, a sort of quick 101 about Palestine, about even the Muslim faith, and of course, through that amazing hospitality and that generosity and that reverence that is part of Ramadan. Because more or less, we would snack during the day, but I looked forward every day to dinner. That's what I woke up looking forward to. And I got to know a lot of folks in that process. But for me, my also favorite thing, that's where I was like, man, this is the best food I've ever had. And so it stuck with me now for some 30 years and wonderfully continue that tradition even here with you tonight. That started with Ramadan in the Palestinian-controlled area of Jerusalem. So with that, I also want to acknowledge, this came up as an idea given all the conflict and turmoil that's happening. Literally, that's why it came up, and it should. But you all said yes, and that is what I love. It was a wild idea. I was like, well, we should just be sister cities with someone in Palestine. And then we kind of connected up, and Samia stepped up. She said yes. And Lynn, out of nowhere, where's Lynn again? Lynn has her own story. You should ask her about it, for professor or something, among other things. I can't even remember. But the point is, she works at the Balloon Museum, and I was just telling the story I'm telling you, and she's like, yeah, I'd like to get involved, and has her own amazing story that I'm sure at some point she'll share with you. So truly a One Albuquerque effort. Thank you so much, Samia and Lynn, and thank you all for being here to kick off this relationship.
Thank you so much, Mayor. Thank you, Mayor Keller and our First Lady, Elizabeth Keller. Thank you so much. We're going to have a video recording of the newly elected mayor, Salim Maghrouf. So he has a few words to say. Go ahead.
صباح الخير. أنا اسمي سالم غروف.
I am Salim Maghrouf, mayor of Jericho, the oldest continuously inhabited city in history, a city whose roots extend back more than 10,000 years, a city that still pulses with life, civilization, culture, and humanity. Today, I'm delighted to extend the greetings of friendship and affection to the people of Albuquerque, to my friend Mayor Tim Keller, and to all participants in this beautiful event that bring together culture, humanity, and the spirit of connection between peoples. I would also like to extend my sincere thanks and appreciation to Sister City President Pam Frathers, as well as to Jericho Friendship City Chair Samia Asid and Co-Chair Lenny Newton for their valuable efforts in strengthening the friendship and cultural connection between our two cities. In the city of Jericho, we deeply value our friendship with the city of Albuquerque, a relationship founded on mutual respect, friendship, and the belief that people are always capable of building bridges despite distances. We are truly proud of this meaningful relationship between Jericho and Albuquerque, and we highly value the friendship, mutual respect, and the cultural exchange that continue to bring our peoples closer together. We believe that such connection between cities and communities create hope, understanding, and a stronger human bond between nations. I would also like to invite you all to enjoy this special evening with its cultural heritage and humanitarian activities, and to learn more about the city of Jericho through photographs that reflect the beauty of the city, its nature, and its history, as well as through traditional Palestinian clothing, especially Jericho dress, which we proudly cherish as an authentic part of our identity and rich cultural heritage. We also invite you to experience authentic Palestinian cuisine and enjoy traditional flavors, especially Palestinian knafe, which carries the taste of love, warmth, and heritage. We are also pleased to include a special knafe tasting event as a part of the evening's program, with Mr. Tim Keller participating on the judging panel. It is a wonderful opportunity that we will hope add an atmosphere of joy and friendship for everyone. And while we are fully confident that the knafe will be delicious tonight, we promise Mr. Keller and everyone else that its taste will be even more special and delicious when they try it in Palestine, specifically in Jericho. From here, I extend a sincere invitation to the people of Albuquerque and to the mayor to visit the city of Jericho in the near future, so that you may experience firsthand its ancient civilization, markets, cuisine, warmth atmosphere, and Palestinian people who love life and hold firmly to hope, culture, and beauty. We want the world to see us as we truly are, a people with an ancient civilization, a rich culture, and a deep human heritage, a people who love life, peace, and openness to the world, far from the image of war, destruction, and suffering that so often reduce our story. Our message today is one of friendship, love, and human connection, a message that affirms the culture always has the power, bring peoples together, and brings hearts closer. Thank you all, and I wish you a beautiful evening filled with joy and love. From Jericho, the city of sun and palm trees, to Albuquerque, the city of friendship and human warmth, with all love and appreciation, and with my warmest wishes to the Muslim community and to all the people of the city for a blessed Eid filled with peace, goodness, and love.
I have to tell you, that was really, really beautiful. I know many of us in the room as Palestinians, this is a special moment for us. So thank you again, Mayor Keller. مبروك لرئيس بلدية أريحة الأستاذ سالم غروف ولطاقم بلدية أريحة. يعني قدمتوا ووجبتوا يعني بالفيديو. إن شاء الله لنا لقاءات خاصة معكم في المستقبل. I just want to say just one word. The Muslim community yesterday lost a young lady that was very special to all of us. There was a bigger dress show, but many of the young ladies could not attend. So please forgive us. But at the same time, I'd love to have your prayers and du'as for this young lady who was very special to us. Hana, Allah yarhamha. May she rest in peace. And may all those who love people in this time of war find some solemn and our prayers with all those who lost loved ones. I want to take this moment to talk about the Palestinian thobe. You see some of the Palestinians, if some of the young ladies, you see them dressing in the traditional Palestinian thobe. There's some around the room that if you're comfortable, you can step up. If not, I understand. But traditionally, it's a storytelling. Thobe, much like the Southwest, the stitch belongs to a story from many, many centuries ago, I would say, that narrates a lot of history, a lot of the surroundings, a lot of the food they ate, the land that they sowed. And I believe today this thobe still continues to carry the culture, identity, and heritage of Palestinians. It is part of Sumud. Some of the art of tatriz, the stitch is called tatriz. Some you'll find in different cities like Ramallah, Jerusalem, Nablus. There are certain distinct stitches. Some have the cypress tree, the sarwa. Some have the olive branch, which represents peace, prosperity, and the enduring Palestinian landscape. And some have geometric patterns, florals, designs like crushed sugar, stars, triangles, and are used for beauty, regional identity, and protection from the evil eye. So today we want to highlight the thobe of Jericho. Do you have the picture of that up there? Oh, we didn't. Oh, okay, we couldn't. Okay, well, there's a traditional thobe for Jericho. If you saw the picture, and we'll share it in a bit, and we'll share it on our website, you could swear this is a woman from New Mexico. The Jericho traditional thobe is called the thobe al-Jershawi. It's made of black fabric and is distinguished by colorful embroidery using red and orange threads. These colors and patterns carry deep connections to prehistoric times and reflect the environment and heritage of the city. The embroidery often takes the form of floral mott leaves and with red and yellow petals. The dress is also characterized by its loose and flowing design, suitable for Jericho's warm climate. It's sleeveless and long, wide, known as radan, which are among the most distinctive features, as the wide sleeves allow for jewelry and ornaments worn by women to remain visible. Around the waist, the dress is adorned with a red belt woven with the golden threads called the zinar. There are also dresses with shorter sleeves and wide radan worn over a lighter inner garment whose sleeves appear beneath the outer sleeves. On the head, women traditionally wear a large head covering similar to a kafia, known as a shal al-mushajjar. It is black and floral embroidery, which is why it is called mushajjar, floral patterned. Sometimes a traditional kafia is worn instead. These characteristics reflect features associated with Canaanite traditions, despite variations in embroidery colors and fabrics. The Jericho dress differs from the traditional dresses of northern and central Palestine because of its greater length, looser fit, and especially its wide known sleeves known as radan. The Palestinian sisters will understand that very well. It is also distinguished by its head coverings, either the embroidered shawl or another covering called the wiqaya, a circular wrap resembling a turban. During the Ottoman era, and even before, women decorated the edges of the wiqaya with gold coins and ornaments, which were later replaced with coins such as the barah or the asari karsh. Now, I know some of the Palestinians in here know what the headscarf here traditionally is called uka, and many of it were gold coins. Who could afford gold nowadays? We don't know, right? Okay, but this is what women wore, and silver coins. So that people still wear these, and they hold them very close to their hearts, and it's tradition. And also for a safety net. It's usually women, brides, who offer those as their dowry, who are offered those as dowry. As for the madraka, it was either another name for the dress itself, which was the more common usage, or it's referred specifically to a much wider and more comfortable garment worn inside the home. So as we can see, the thobe is not just a relic preserved in museums, but a living tradition proudly worn at weddings, festival, and cultural events to celebrate Palestinian roots. I want to take a minute here, and I want my Palestinian community to think about how many of you have grown up going to Riha. Riha is a word for Jericho in Arabic. How many of you? I know I have. I think every Palestinian family has always had a trip or a memory in Riha, which was very special. So this is a very sentimental place for many of us, with fond memories, and we hope to build on and grow in that relationship alongside Albuquerque. I think Albuquerque and Jericho will be a wonderful partnership. The similarities are really eye-opening, but even the visual, the pictures, when trying to decide what represents Jericho, you could almost say, okay, this represents Albuquerque. Which one is which? The beauty, the landscape, the deserts, the water. There's a story to be told, and we're going to narrate it alongside you. So right now, I'd like to welcome my co-chair, Miss Lynn Newton, and she has a few things to say. Thank you.
I misunderstood that was the direct, not the picture. I'm sorry. Okay. Of course, I'm going to geek out with a PowerPoint. Just a second. Okay. My name is Lynn Newton. I am, those of you that know me as the exhibit curator at the Balloon Museum. But what you probably don't know is that I have a PhD in anthropology, and I spent over 20 years doing excavations in Oman, Yemen, and then worked at the National Museum of Qatar for a number of years before landing in New Mexico. So when this opportunity came up, I met Pam and Nathan last year on the trip to Helmstedt. I was one of the city representatives with the city, the Sister Cities trip to Helmstedt last summer. So got to know Pam and others, and there was discussion about a potential opportunity that I might be a good fit for, and more than happily accepted. So, Kalam Arabi shwaya, wa Eid Mubarak to all of you. And I just want to talk a little bit about Jericho as an archaeological site. It's a very, 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 very important archaeological site. As a student of Middle East archaeology, the first thing that you learn is Jericho, because it's a type site. That's what's called a type site. So excavations started at Jericho in the 1800s, but in the 1950s, I'm just gonna hit this. No, I'm not. Before I do that, I just want to point out, so this here is the tell. This is the ancient part of Jericho. You can see the telefried, which is very much like Albuquerque with the tram. But this is where the main part of the archaeological site is. It is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and it dates back close to 11,000 years. This is the site that demonstrates human occupation from what we call the pre-pottery Neolithic through the Neolithic phase. That's the origins of agriculture are documented here at this site. All the way through historic periods, the Bronze Age going into the Canaanite period, and then of course the Islamic period till today. So it's been continually inhabited for 11,000 years. And it's incredibly important because, particularly for archaeologists like myself, that Kathleen Kenyon, she was the archaeologist in the 1950s who devised a new methodology for excavation, which has led towards modern understanding and modern techniques for collecting data from archaeological sites. Because before, archaeologists would kind of dig holes without any rhyme or reason. They're looking for the nice objects. You know, things have changed a lot. Thank goodness since then. But she developed a very systematic methodology where you open up an area and you're very carefully measuring where objects are in relationship to each other, which is really important. If you don't have context for objects, you don't understand the date and what they really mean. It can be a beautiful object, but you don't know anything about it. So she developed this methodology in Jericho. And this is part of the reason why it's such an important site historically for archaeology in general as well. So I will just say just a couple more things and then we can go eat. The tell covers, the tell is that hill that I showed you in the other photograph. So this is the layering of occupation. So it has at the base Neolithic, and then people continually keep living there over time. And the reason why they live there is because of the Ain al-Sultan, which is, an Ain is a spring, which means that there's water. And we all know, as people living in the desert, here in Albuquerque as well, that water is key to everything. So when there's water, you're gonna find evidence for people living there in the past. So I just wanted to give a brief overview of the significance of this particular place throughout history. Jericho is important to the entire world because of this important heritage. Thank you.
Thank you, Lynn. I am very privileged to have her as co-chair. We are going to have an interesting journey together. So now the good stuff. You ready for some food? We have traditional Palestinian food. We have makluba, which is an upside-down dish. We also have mensaf, which is rice with lamb and whey. And we have, of course, our hummus and baba ghanoush. And our waited for knafa competition. I'm going to hand it over to my son. Where's Mundir? MJ, Mundir? Of course, he disappeared on me. Well, just give him 1 minute, and he will set up the knafa table for the judges. I have Mayor Keller will be a judge, City Councilwoman Nicole Rogers, and oh God, my mind blanked. I did not know. No, you're not. One more. I'm so sorry. I forgot. And the young man from the Asian American Center? Carlo, thank you. Where is Carlo? There you go. I'm so sorry. You should have reminded me, all right? I just know you forever. I blanked out. I'm so sorry. So we have 4 taste testers. My son is a critic. And I stayed out of this competition. I would have given you a run for your money. I'm going to tell you that. But I hope we all can enjoy the good food and learn to grow with all of you, and looking forward to many more events alongside the communities and other sister city chapters. Thank you all. Please enjoy. We'll serve the food in a minute. And of course, get to know one another and over food and breaking bread. Thank you.
ما شاء الله عليها